Hi, Nicole here, and welcome to another video. Today's video is all about Instagram guides. I know there's been so much talk about Instagram Reels, but there's a new feature called Instagram Guides. This video is going to cover what is Instagram Guides, how to make an Instagram guide, and why you should be making some Instagram guides. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first, what are Instagram guides? You want to think of this as almost like a mini blog that lives on your Instagram account. You're essentially curating content for your audience. So it has three categories you can create a guide by: places, products, and posts. I'm going to walk through how to make a guide, and along the way, I'm going to provide some suggestions on how you as a business would be able to incorporate this and how this is a powerful tool. So first, I want to walk through the three types. By clicking on the upper right-hand corner, you have a plus sign, and that's how you can launch all the different items that you can make, and guides is at the bottom. Once you click on guides and create your first guide, that's when the little newspaper will appear on your feed. If you don't see the little newspaper now and you have not created a guide, that's why. So once you create your first one and it's live, that's when that little newspaper will appear. Okay, so first is places. If I wanted to create a guide, let's say on Boston, maybe I love to travel, I want to create guides on all the top places that I've traveled to. Boston could be number one. I could then start searching for Boston and find some places that I love. So here's Boston Public Library. And then once you choose one, that's now your cover image, but that also can be changed. It can be changed later on, it could be changed at the beginning, but then when you scroll down, you'll see a place for a description, and this is where you can really let your audience know why you're creating this guide, why they should be interested in creating and looking at this guide, and then all the posts stop populating in. The first one being the Boston Public Library. Now, the title dropped in based on the location that I was in. I can also add a description. I don't need to, but everything will need to have a title. So I can go back, add another post. Now at the bottom, you can see there's different options here. And you can then choose, I can search Fenway Park, and I can choose someone's image. This is someone else's content that had that picture, Fenway Park. Now, they geotagged that, so that's why it's available here. Now, if I went to Fenway Park and I geotagged a post, I can go to my posts and bring that into the guide. So a guide based on places and a guide based on products won't necessarily be based on your Instagram feed. You're going to be pulling elsewhere from Instagram. Okay. So once you have this guide created, you could just post, my favorite places to visit in Boston, or my favorite places to take photographs in Boston. Since I'm a brand photographer, that could be something I could use. All right, so then now let's go to products. For products, you're gonna search a brand. So let's say I have a home gym, I love Rogue Fitness and use a lot of their products. Maybe I wanna make a guide on my top 10 pieces of gym equipment. And so I go to Rogue. I find the products in Rogue. So let's say the Assault Air Bike, I add that in. First image, of course, now it's going to be the cover image, but then you can change that as well. So then I can go back, find another brand that I like, go to their shop, find products, and add to that guide. Everything will have a title. You can add your description of why your audience may be interested in this, and then move on to the next step. Okay, so for posts, I'm gonna show you a guide that I have already created, and then I'm gonna walk you through how I'm gonna create a new guide based on posts. Now this is your posts. These are your posts. So here I created a guide on behind the scenes on photo shoots in 2020. So as a brand photographer, I create multiple posts throughout the year highlighting behind the scenes, and people love to kind of get a insider view of what happens on a photo shoot. So I collected all the posts in this guide and I added a title for each one so people know what they're looking at. And this guide is really a great way for people to dive deeper, to kind of see how I work, see the product I produce, and get to know me better. And that's a great, powerful tool for any business out there. If you can curate the information for your audience so they can get even more information about you and connect with you, that's awesome. Okay, so now let's create a guide from scratch. This guide, I'm often asked about brand photography, what is brand photography, and I wanted to create a guide so then when someone reaches out, I can not only respond to their question, I can now link this guide into our conversation so they can really see what is brand photography, what I provide with brand photography, work examples, and then testimonials from what clients are saying. It's all right there for them. All right, so here we go. Here's a tip for when you're creating a guide that might have a lot of content. I have gone through my feed, since this is a post-based guide, and I have saved images and posts that will speak to my future guide that I'm making. So if you've never saved a post, this is what you do. I find a post, I click on the save, which is that little icon on the lower right-hand corner of the post. I hold the button, and now it's saying to add collection. So if you never created a collection or folder before, click the plus symbol, make a label, and now that will drop into that folder. Okay, so once you've collected all those saved images, now you can go into guide by the plus symbol at the upper right-hand corner, click on guide, we're gonna choose post, and now I'm gonna go into my saved folder and all those images are there. So I'm gonna go through and pick out the posts that I want to include. I can again edit and add later if more things pop up. And now I click next, and now it feeds through. So now it populates the guide. I'm gonna change the cover image. I'm gonna add a title. I'm going to add a description of why someone would wanna be looking at this. And now you can see as I scroll through, all those posts are now there. It will not let me save or go to the next stage until I have a title for each one. Additionally, because I just was picking those posts, I need to reorder. So if you choose the little 3 dots on any of those posts, you'll see you can delete it from the guide, or you can reorder the items in your guide. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So once I click on that, you'll see the whole list of items that are in this guide. I'm just gonna resort these around, have the testimonials down to the bottom. Okay, then I can click to go next, done. And now I'm gonna add a title to each section. So then it's more organized. They'll see different categories. I really want to get across about me, about my business and what I offer with brand photography, some work samples, and then what clients are saying. Those are kind of how I'm going to organize this guide. All right, so once all the titles are added, I'm going to now click next. As you can see, it's highlighted as blue. I can move forward. And this is where I can either share or save as a draft. Now, I need to go back and add more things, so I'm going to save as a draft. But here's an important point. Unlike Reels, once I share, it's not going to go to my feed. It's going to live in that guides portion of the Instagram account. But you do have the ability to share it to your stories to then draw people to the guide. And keep in mind that you can always take that link and add it to a post somewhere outside of Instagram, or you can send that link to someone within Instagram and start the conversation from there as well. Dive deep into more content. So there's so many possibilities for guides, and I really hope this provides you some inspiration and some guidance on how you can start creating guides for your business. Again, places, products, in your posts. If you have any questions, please let me know. And until next time, bye.